Hey everyone, Mills RX here, coming at you with a car video today. And I want to talk for a little bit about the new changes that the Ravens have implemented into their OTA programs. Now, Jamison Hensley put something on his Twitter feed talking about some of the new changes that they've put in place. One is there's more stretching. There's fewer reps, and I expect there to be less contact as well for the off-season program. Now, we suffered many injuries during off-season and preseason last year because of the way the Ravens practice. I mean, there was one Thursday practice where Gus Edwards and Marcus Peters tore their ACL because of how hard the practice is. Now, the Ravens have put in place a program where they'll have less padded practices and also less physical contact, less full contact practices, which falls in line with what the NFL is doing now because over the past few years, physical therapy has focused more on the regen process. As we work out, our muscle fibers they break down from the vigorous activity, and while we're resting and after we finish our workout, our muscles begin a regenerative process where the muscle fibers they that the cells they create new muscle proteins and they link the muscle fibers together and they come back, they build them stronger, and that also increases our physical strength and also the pliability and the flexibility of the muscles, and that's pretty much what we want to focus on, and that's what John Harbaugh and the Ravens are focusing on, especially by hiring the new said our new physical trainer Dixon. He was the head he was the director of physical therapy and sports rehabilitation for the Tennessee Titans, and he came into the league as a physical therapist, and then he worked his way up to director of physical therapy and sports rehabilitation, which is really good. Now, I looked into what he did for the Titans, and he always had a hands-on approach, and he was always more focused, geared toward muscle regeneration and getting the players back to full strength or as close to full strength as possible. And that is definitely what we need because the Ravens had some of the more competitive and more physical practices of all of the teams last season, and we had more reps, we had more competition. It was almost more like we're going game speed during some of these things, and that also led to some of the injuries, as I mentioned before. Gus Edwards, Marcus Peters, L.J. Fort, even suffered an injury because of how competitive the practices are. And even Coach John Harbaugh himself said that they're going to change it up. They're going to add these off-season programs, and they're going to completely revamp the conditioning and also the strengthening programs during phase one of OTAs, which the Ravens are in now, and that ends June 16th. So, yep, I'm really excited about this new approach that they're taking toward off-season programs. Hopefully, it can keep us healthy enough, get us through the preseason, and get us to the regular season with as few injuries as possible. So, yep, we really just need to focus on increasing, I'd say, flexibility and pliability of the muscles. And, after and if we do have a full contact practice, give them more time to rest, fewer reps for starters, and of course, the rookies coming in will need all the reps they can, but maybe fewer reps for starters, and let them rest and let that muscle regenerative process, let that happen so the cells can build new muscle fibers, so they can come back more stronger, come back more flexible, so that they can so we can stop pretty much the injuries and things of that nature. And less physical contact will reduce the chances of injuries, and fewer reps will possibly reduce the amount of ACLs, because I'd say because if you look at the data, over 40% of ACL injuries are non-contact, meaning that they would get it like during practice, like somebody comes out of a break wrong, they're covering someone like Marcus Peters. He was coming out of a break covering a wide receiver in practice. He said he suffered it then. Um, uh, Gus Edwards, he was doing rushing drills. He planted his leg and then he tried to push off. He tried to explode through a hole the wrong way, and then that caused an ACL. So, yeah, these new programs and this new change in philosophy will definitely be a big help toward us staying healthy for and being more available for the season, for the preseason and for the regular season. So, yep, I'm really excited, and it's a great time. We're getting close. We're 1 week away from the draft. So yeah. Um, so yeah, football is back. Football is back. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And yep, go Ravens.